Well, great group of young men. Excited for the opportunity to get a chance to work with them. Obviously Dak, Damian, and Nick. All three are extremely hard workers. From a standpoint of mental attributes, I think they're exactly what you want in our program, and I think they're going to provide us with great leadership and great athleticism at their position. I'm looking forward for a chance to getting them on the field and working with them in some detail.
What have you met with them, and when you talk to them, what if they bounce off each other at this early point and getting to know each other?
Well, for me right now, obviously a lot of it has been just getting to know them personally. I think the football part of it, that obviously takes care of itself, and we spend plenty of time talking football. But I think from a personal standpoint, getting to know these kids and getting to the point where they know me and we build that relationship, build that trust. So that's been, my main focus these first 2 weeks is getting a chance to know them on a personal level, their backgrounds, where they're from, their family, and just getting a chance to meet each other and spend some time meeting each other and making sure that everything is in line.
You haven't got a chance to see Nick in the field per se yet, but what have you seen out of him and Elijah so far, I guess on film, that you really like about their game?
The thing that stands out to me about Nick is he's ultra competitive, and in a couple of the workouts that we've had, he's absolutely fearless. He'll go against McKinney and those guys, and he'll race them, and he'll step up to the challenge. And he's a guy that I'm extremely excited to work with, because I think he has a bright future ahead of him.
You talked about getting to know the quarterbacks on a personal level. Why is that so important as a coach to get to kind of know them?
Well, because we spend so much time with these guys year round, and I think that the relationship that you carry with your position coach is one that lasts a lifetime. And when we go into a kid's home and recruit that kid, we essentially become an extension of their family. And that's something that's been extremely important to me throughout my coaching career, and even throughout my playing career. I think you can see that with Coach Mullen. Him recruiting me has had a lasting impact on my life, and it's 11 years later, and that relationship is still there for us. So I think it's extremely important for the reasons that obviously I've just stated, but the trust that you build with your position group, and when those guys are done playing football, and I think that it's important that you stay in contact with them. It's important that you remain a part of their lives.
Talk about that experience of being on the staff of Coach Mullen and Coach Gonzalez, two guys that actually recruited you when you were in high school.
Well, it's unique. Obviously, I'm extremely grateful to those guys that gave me my first opportunity in college football, and it's nice to kind of have that come full circle and get a chance to work for Coach Mullen and work with Coach Gonzalez and Coach Hevesy and those guys, and be a part of their staff. I think from a philosophical standpoint, the foundation of my offensive philosophy kind of derives from what I learned from those guys early on at Utah in my career, and those principles are things that have stuck with me over the last 11 years, and I'm sure they'll continue to be the same 20 or 30 years from now. So just a great opportunity, to get a chance to come and coach in this league and be around a great group of guys every day.
Was that the most attractive part of coming to Mississippi State, just because you were so comfortable with Dan and Billy, or were there other aspects of
that? That was huge. I can't say enough about those guys and what I've learned from them throughout the years. Obviously having that relationship with them, having that rapport with them, is something that was extremely inviting and enticing. The success that they've had in this program, the job that Coach Mullen's done over the last 5 years has been outstanding, and I just wanted to be a part of that, and it felt like it was a great opportunity for me to make a move.
talk about being that unique perspective, being under Coach Mullen before. Just how will that help you when you go about coaching these guys? You were a player under Mullen, so it'll be easier to translate to them.
Yes, I've been around him coaching before, so I know exactly how he is and what he expects and what the expectation is for quarterback play. And it's extremely probably identical to what I expect out of my group as well. So it's a great opportunity and experience for me to be around a brilliant offensive mind like Coach Mullen and get a chance to continue to grow and learn and develop as I kind of carry out my coaching journey as well.
Your thoughts of Dak and Damian so far, getting to know them, how's that going?
Well, I'll start with Dak. I don't think you can ask for a better young man. He's when you see him, you can tell he's a quarterback, and he carries himself with a certain demeanor that draws people to him. Very charismatic, very good with people. He's a great leader, extremely hard worker, and obviously a talented player. So he has some special abilities, some special tools. I'm excited to get a chance to work with him and try to help continue to refine and develop those tools and get him to reach his maximum potential. Damian, Coach Mullen has told me a lot about Damian, and he said he reminded himself when he recruited me is when he recruited Damian. So getting to know Damian, he's an absolute sponge. And, he picks up information, he processes information well. He handled himself well last year, being a young kid and having to step into some tough situations. And he played well and handled himself like a veteran. So it's good to have him in the program, and I'm excited to get a chance to work with those guys.
Will you keep kind of the same recruiting areas you had for Utah, or will you be in Mississippi some too?
Yeah, I'll be a little bit in Mississippi, down on the coast, of Mobile as well, and a little bit of Louisiana and a little bit of Texas. Obviously, I'm from Texas, so I have some ties to that area.
How much have you seen Coach Mullen change over the last 11 years? How much difference do you see in him?
Well, from a day-to-day perspective, not much, because obviously I wasn't with him, at Florida in the first 4 years here. But his personality and stuff is still the same as I remember when I was 16 years old. He's extremely detailed, he's high energy, very personable, relatable. You can talk to him, and really, really intelligent guy. And I think that kind of shines when you have a conversation with him. You really understand how smart he is, and I think it carries over.
How do you want your meeting room to go? How do you like to organize that? I mean, do you like a lot of talk with the guys that are there, or do you like to kind of be in control?
Well, I think there's always room for discussion, and I think that's a huge part of developing a quarterback. And my whole deal when you talk about developing quarterbacks is getting them to understand why we do the certain things that we do. And in order for them to do that, they have to be mentally inquisitive. They have to ask questions. They have to be engaged. They have to understand what we do and how we do it before they understand why we do it. And I think getting to that point and having them have their maturity level is something that's extremely important for their progress and development as a quarterback.
Your step